Hello, small folk. It's Father Christmas here. And have I got a tale for you? Today, in Lapland, we had quite an adventure, thanks to our wise, mystical friend Zauber, the head of the Elf Council. Now, Zauber is not just any elf. He is also a very clever magician. But the magic Zauber conjures is not that of simple trickery. Oh no! Zauber's magic is the magic of nature itself. Zauber knows more than any that nature is the most magical force on the earth, and it is the wonders of nature that he uses in his magic. But today, of all things, Zauber lost his golden bell. Now, I know what you're thinking. How could an elf as magical as Zauber lose something so precious? For Zauber's golden bell is a symbol of his status and respect in the elven community, and was given to him many winters ago by me and Mother Christmas. When he rings it, it chimes with nature's power, filling Lapland with a deep, melodious harmony. But alas, today it was missing. And let me tell you, it took all of Zauber's magic and a bit of Lapland's natural wonders to find it again. This morning, we started out like any other winter's day in Lapland. Snowflakes drifted lazily from the sky, and the elves were as busy as ever, making, baking, mending and decorating everything in sight. I was just crossing the bustling village square on my way to collect some more letters from elves in the post office, when Zauber, looking unusually puzzled, came striding towards me. "Father Christmas," he began awkwardly, looking left and right over his shoulder, hoping that nobody was listening in, "I seem to have, misplaced my golden bell." "Your golden bell?" I replied in surprise, glancing at the empty ribbon on the end of his hat where the bell normally hung. "That's not something you misplace every day." Zauber nodded, looking rather embarrassed. "I had it last night when I went to the enchanted forest to check on the Tree of Life, but this morning it was gone." Now, if there's one thing we know in Lapland, it's that a lost item of such magical importance doesn't just wander off on its own. So, Zauber, with a calm determination, decided he'd use his unique ability to call upon the powers of nature to help him find it. Zauber strode off on the hunt for the golden bell, with me following on behind, for I was intrigued to see how he would go about solving this particular conundrum. First, he made straight for the mighty Christmas tree in the village square, beautifully lit with fairy lights of every colour. Zauber often spent time at the tree, meditating and giving gratitude for the breathtaking beauty of nature. Reaching the magnificent fir, Zauber gently placed both his hands on its wise, knobbly bark. "Oh, wise and beautiful pine," he whispered, "from your viewpoint so high, have you seen where my golden bell might lie?" For a moment, there was silence. But then the tree began to sway, its branches shifting as though whispering secrets in reply. The pines rustled, and a gentle murmur filled the air. One branch bent low and tapped against Zauber's shoulder, as if nudging him to head further into the forest. Zauber turned to me, his eyes twinkling. "The tree is helping us," he said excitedly. "It senses something unusual and is pointing its branch towards the wishing bridge." And so, with the tree directing our way, we continued deeper into the forest, towards the wooden wishing bridge, where countless wishes have been made and granted over the years. As we reached the bridge, the trail seemed to grow cold. The golden bell was still nowhere to be seen. Zauber looked momentarily disheartened. But then a thoughtful look flashed across his face. Suddenly, he raised his hands to the sky and whispered to the wind, "Spirit of the wind, come forth and show me if I should head east, west, south, or north." No sooner had he spoken than a breeze picked up, swirling coldly around our legs and tugging at our clothes. The wind began to hum, creating a melody as it danced through the trees. It circled round and round the wishing bridge like a cyclone, then darted off in the direction of a small snow-covered hill a short distance away. Zauber smiled. "The wind has picked up a trace. Come on, Father Christmas, let's follow it," he urged. With that, we hurried after the mysterious breeze as it twirled and swirled and led us over the snow-covered fields. And as we followed, I noticed glints of something in the snow, like tiny crystals lighting our way. The wind was showing us a pathway of sparkling frost. Each step, we hoped, leading us closer to Zauber's precious bell. We followed the sparkling frost trail as far as it would take us, and found that it came to an end at the frozen pond in the village square, where the water lay still and silent beneath a glassy layer of ice. Zauber knelt by the water's edge and placed one hand on the freezing ice. Looking at his own reflection in the mirrored surface, he whispered, "O water-keeper of secrets, what can you tell? Have you seen my golden bell?" The pond was quiet for a moment, but then a ripple appeared beneath the ice, moving slowly as though in answer to Zauber's question. At first, I thought it must be a shoal of fish swimming beneath the ice. But as the ripple grew, a faint song filled the air. A song of flowing water, of secrets hidden beneath the ice. As we listened, an image began to appear on the surface of the frozen water. I watched dumbfounded as a faint and shimmering picture started to appear before our eyes. As the image got brighter, we could see without doubt that we were looking at the shining golden bell. But where was it? It wasn't under the ice, or indeed on top of the ice. "Oh, ice and sun, how clever you are! You've reflected my bell from somewhere not far!" exclaimed Zauber, now hot on the trail once more. For Zauber now knew that the wonders of the natural world were working in harmony to help him find his bell. The mighty sun had joined forces with the frozen ice to reflect the golden bell from its hiding place onto the glassy ice. "Zauber!" I called, looking at the reflections more carefully as Zauber searched high and low all around us. "I can see a fence in the image too. It looks to me like the fence that surrounds the frozen pond." quickly running over to look at the image, which was starting to fade a little as the sun dipped behind a cloud, Zauber spotted the wooden fence too. "You're right, Father Christmas," he shouted in delight. "Now all we need to do is walk around the edge of the pond, checking the fence as we go." So, that's what we did. And it wasn't long before we spotted a golden glint coming from a fence post nearby. "My bell!" shrieked Zauber, both delighted and relieved. "My hat must have caught on the wooden post as I skipped back from the enchanted forest last night and tugged my bell off. Thank goodness it's been found." Zauber went over to the fence to retrieve his precious bell, dusting the snow from the morning snowfall and holding it up to the light. It shone with a warm golden glow, as if happy to be back in its rightful place. He gave the bell a gentle shake, and its deep, joyful ring filled the air, echoing through the village. The mighty Christmas tree on the village square rustled in approval. The wind swirled in delight, and even the water seemed to gurgle in harmony. "Thank you, dear friends," Zauber murmured to the elements, his voice filled with gratitude. "Without you, I would have been searching all winter." News of Zauber's missing bell had spread through the Lapland grapevine, and all the elves had gathered on the village square, eager to hear how Zauber had found it. Zauber, in his mystical way, shared the story of the tree's guidance, the wind's direction, the water's gentle song, and the ice and sun's reflection. Each part of nature had led him closer to his bell, reminding us all of the magic that surrounds us each and every day. "Well, Zauber," I said with a chuckle, "you might be the only elf who could lose something in such a way that it becomes a grand lesson in nature." He smiled, that familiar twinkle in his eye. "Sometimes, Father Christmas, what we lose helps us find what matters most. Today I was reminded of the wonders of nature and the joys of sharing its magic." As night fell and the northern lights began to dance above, Zauber tied his golden bell back on his hat, where it shimmered with the light of 1,000 stars. We gathered around him, listening to the gentle ring of the bell, feeling at one with nature. And as I sit here now, sharing this story with you, I can't help but smile, knowing that Zauber's journey reminds us all of the wonders around us. The trees, the rivers, the changing weathers, and of course each other. For in Lapland, even a simple bell has the power to bring us closer to the magic that's always there, if we take the time to listen. Cheery byes, dear friends. If you ever find yourselves a bit lost, remember, in the heart of nature, there's always a path waiting to be found. Ho, 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 ho.